Seeds of Wisdom RV and Economic Updates Saturday afternoon, January 18, 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Good afternoon. Dinar recaps. Ripple exec makes bold 2025 stablecoin prediction. DETAI. Jack McDonald, SVP of stablecoin at Ripple, has made a bold prediction for the stablecoin market, declaring 2025 as the year of the stablecoin. McDonald stated that as U.S. regulation advances, the stablecoin market will benefit from clearer guidelines and standards. This regulatory clarity is expected to foster greater trust, paving the way for broader adoption. The Ripple SVP expressed optimism that Ripple and its stablecoin, RLUSD, are well positioned to lead the charge in this new era. 2025 is the year of the stablecoin. As U.S. regulation advances, standards will evolve, innovation will expand and real utility will take off. Ripple and RLUSD are ready to lead the charge, McDonald wrote in a recent tweet. The stablecoin supply is increasing, currently boasting a market cap of nearly $216 billion and with projections of nearly $3 trillion within the next 5 years. Ripple expands its horizons. While Ripple's enterprise blockchain solutions have grown to support a larger range of financial use cases, such as asset tokenization and custody, cross-border payments were the company's first application of blockchain technology. Ripple Payments has processed more than $70 billion in payments to date, and the introduction of RLUSD adds another blockchain-powered payment option for cross-border transactions. $111 million in unrealized losses could hit Bank of America as 1-year Treasury yield moves higher, report. Unrealized losses on Bank of America's balance sheet are ballooning amid rising bond yields, according to a new report. Bank of America's unrealized losses on mostly U.S. agency mortgage-backed securities could jump to $111 billion in the fourth quarter of 2024, an increase of 29% from the previous quarter, reports Barron's. Bank of America's held-to-maturity assets stood at $568 billion as of the third quarter of 2024, according to a regulatory filing, including an unrealized loss of $86 billion at the time. The bank's unrealized losses continue to widen as the yield on 10-year U.S. Treasuries nears 5%. And most of Bank of America's held-to-maturity debt securities are comprised of agency mortgage-backed securities, which are witnessing similarly rising yields. BofA's unrealized bond losses are the highest in the industry. By comparison, the nation's largest bank J.P. Morgan Chase has about $20 billion in unrealized losses as of Q3 2024. In its quarterly banking profile report issued in December, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, said the number of U.S. lenders on its problem bank list rose to 68 in Q3, with total unrealized losses at all major banks standing at $364 billion. BRICS analyst calls U.S. dollar grossly overvalued, and here's why. The last 2 years have seen the Global South orchestrate its very own de-dollarization initiative. Seeking to promote local currencies was a way to combat the growing influence the West had on global finance. Although the greenback has maintained much of its strength amid BRICS action, one analyst has called the U.S. dollar grossly overvalued. The sentiment is tied to the overwhelming influence that the U.S. dollar maintains. Currently, the state of Mississippi, the poorest state in the country, is richer per capita than either the United Kingdom or Japan. Although the reason for this reality can be debated, one economist notes it is likely due to the overwhelming overvaluation of the currency. U.S. dollar called overvalued by economists. Can that push BRICS de-dollarization? 2025 was always set to be a vital year for the BRICS alliance. With U.S. President-elect Donald Trump returning to the White House, things are bound to change. The alliance has struggled with ongoing Western sanctions and answered with their own de-dollarization efforts. Yet, the returning president, unlike his predecessor, appears less enthused to sit by and allow such efforts to take place. To this point, those efforts have failed. Indeed, Trump's return has pushed the world's global reserve currency to tremendous heights. Yet, the reason for that has recently come into question. Amid BRICS opposition, One analyst has called the US dollar grossly overvalued in a recent report. The poorest state in the US, Mississippi, has a per capita dollar income that is higher than those of the UK, France, Italy, and Japan and is only slightly lower than Germany, Stephen Jen of Horizon SLJ said in a Financial Times piece. Does this make sense to you? Jen added. To us, this is another proof that the dollar is grossly overvalued, inflated in part due to the supersized fiscal program. There is evidence for the claim throughout the U.S. economy. Indeed, the report notes that many Sioux gas station managers earn more than European doctors. Ultimately, Jen notes that the U.S. fiscal posture is unsustainable. Indeed, it is going to require a massive initiative to bring down its deficit, or major problems will soon arise. The question is, can Trump and his incoming Doge Commission handle such a lofty task? However, what does this reality mean for the budding BRICS alliance? ECB is looking forward to 2025 with the development of the digital euro and the accompanying EU legislation. Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank, ECB, is expecting European legislation for the digital euro. According to her, the European Commission will propose legislation for establishing a digital euro in the near future. We are in the preparation phase and we are expecting European legislation, she said in her New Year's message. On the first day of the new year, Lagarde posted a video message announcing that the development of the European Union's central bank digital currency, CBDC, the digital euro, was in phase 2 and the ECB is expecting legislation. Another significant development on the horizon is our digital euro. We are in the preparation phase and we are expecting European legislation, she said. Once that is done, we will decide whether we move forward with developing a digital form of cash. Lagarde wished those who watched her video a very, very great start to 2025. Well, the ECB's aspirations, as she described them, begin the year on a very, very bad note, and in wishing Europeans well she is speaking with a forked tongue. Take for example the two blatant lies Lagarde told in her message. Firstly, they would not be legislating for a digital euro if they were not intending to move forward with the agenda. So, it's not a case of deciding whether to move forward, but rather the decision has already been made. Secondly, CBDCs are not a digital form of cash. They are tokens which can be programmed to be used only for certain items or services and to expire, much like a gift voucher system which retailers use. Vouchers are for a specific amount to be used on specific items or in specific retailers and expire within a specified time. The retailer's rules and conditions apply. It is because of the programmable and centralized nature of CBDCs that they will be used to control who can buy or sell what, when and where. The central bank's rules and conditions will apply. Do you trust Christine Lagarde? If so, you shouldn't read more at link below to hear her video and find out who she is, convicted criminal and eugenicist and depopulationist. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com